Amin, pronouns are he, him, who says that he is contemplating reasons to come out as an atheist to his parents, to his Muslim parents, and would like our feedback. Go ahead, Amin.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Hey, Jim. Hey, Armin. How you doing?
Doing good.
Thanks for calling.
Awesome. Jim, I'd be very surprised if you recognize the sound of my voice. But I basically called in about a year ago. I was telling the call screener, I talked with you and Secular Rarity about a year ago, and I had somewhat similar concerns about should I come out, should I just stay quiet? We had a really good conversation, and you were talking about giving your experience, you said you haven't come out to your parents, and you said that it would cause more problems than the whole situation is worth. And at that time, I definitely identified with that. But nowadays, this whole idea keeps coming back. Maybe I should, because it keeps just gnawing away at my mind, and I keep thinking maybe it would be a good idea to do so. And a lot has changed from the last time we talked till now. Last time we talked, I went under the surname Unbeliever, but now I'm using my real name, Amin. And the reason for that is, I'm sure Armin can definitely confirm that for us here, that Amin literally in Arabic means trustworthy. And my parents, they never failed to give me that, Amin, live up to your name, all the time. And now that in conjunction with the fact that I've slowly started to accumulate some reasons for maybe I should just come out and be honest with them, despite the fact that my parents are so very, very religious. So yeah, I was just hoping to discuss that with you guys today.
Okay. Well, I don't think my position has changed much, because I'm still not out to my parents, and it's still, there's no good way to do that, and would honestly probably end my relationship with my parents, and my atheism isn't strong enough to warrant that, or strong enough is probably not the right word for it, not important to me enough to warrant that. But Armin, this is probably a little bit closer to home for you, because you've actually, I believe, have you come out to your parents?
Oh yeah. For me, it was different from most ex-Muslims, because my parents were very liberal, and when I was a Muslim, I was very an annoying Muslim. I was kind of like a religious morality police at home, annoying my parents. So when I became an atheist, I was more religious than them. They were didn't care about religion, and I used to bother them about it. And when I became an atheist, they were so happy. They said, "Oh, thank God." So my experience is different from most ex-Muslims. But I mean, I just wonder, do you mind me if I ask you, what are the main two costs with you coming out to your parents, and what are the main two benefits in your mind, given your situation? If you want to do a cost-benefit analysis, can you identify the two main costs associated with you coming out and the two main benefits of it?
Sure. To start, the two main costs would be, upsetting my parents, first of all. I know that, just kind of sidetrack here. My mom especially, she's probably the most religious person I've ever known in my entire life. And she also has, I think that she wouldn't take it well. Let's just put it that way. That's probably the first cost. The second cost is that...
Wait, before you move on, do you think at some point she will get over it? Would she get very upset at the beginning, and at some point she will get over it, or do you think this would be a prolonged
part of
tension?
Me wants to say yes. I'm almost certain that eventually she would live with it.
Okay.
Because I don't think that because I know that she's been slowly, she and my dad, they've both been kind of, mellowing out over the years, despite the fact that they still every now and then call me hey, I mean, are you keeping up with your prayers? Are you fasting and all that? And I have to constantly lie to them and be yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm keeping up with all that. So yeah, to answer your question, I think eventually she would slowly but surely get over it.
Okay, so what's the second cost? Let's go through these faster.
Sure. The second cost was, I'm trying to think here. I think that the second cost would be that maybe there's also that chance, and I have to, explore all options here, or explore all possibilities here. But I think that the other cost is that they probably would not leave it alone, and they would just constantly try to call me.
Annoying.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay, the annoying factor. Okay, they will annoy you. Okay, so benefits 1 and 2.
Sure. Benefits. I would say that, well, first of all, peace of mind, 100% is what I strive for. I want to do what my parents, in that sense of asking me hey, live up to your name, be honest, and all that, and I do strive for that. In most aspects of my life, I try to.
Okay, so you see yourself as an honest person, and you think that this doesn't fit your character when you're lying, like you're not being yourself, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, got it. And is there any other benefit?
And the benefit is, that we are still a family. That I and my siblings and my parents were all we become closer. That's what I strive for. I want to be myself, not have to constantly lie about, and not constantly
right.
Be quiet around them. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So by being yourself, even if they're upset with you, because you're yourself, you feel closer to them because you're not in front of them with a mask all the time, right?
Yes. That's because that's how I feel right now. I always whenever they call and talk to me, they do. I always feel no matter what, and I think I mentioned this last time to both Jim and Secularity last year, is that I always feel I have to put on a mask. I always have to constantly masquerade. And it's
so given these costs and benefits, do you think the benefits outweigh the costs, or the costs outweigh the benefits?
I think the benefits would just by a hair's margin. I think it would outweigh the cost. I think.
Okay, well, there's your answer.
Really
okay, well, there's your answer. Have you thought about doing it gradually instead of just coming out as an atheist? Hey, mom, dad, I'm an atheist. How about maybe saying you know what, I'm not praying, or maybe talking to them about, would you love me if I was skeptical about my religion? Would you still love me? Just saying that, how they would take it, and saying, not saying that you're an atheist, but maybe saying this Ramadan I didn't fast at all, or maybe not saying that you're an atheist, but saying that you're missing your prayers, and just gradually go for the ex-Muslim atheist one. Do you think that's a better option?
Yeah, I you know what? It's funny that you mentioned that, Armin, because I am kind of sort of doing that. So
okay.
The last time I called into the show, I was calling you guys from the state of Illinois, and obviously I've moved since then. While I was on my one-way road trip, I would send them pictures of, hey, look at this awesome forest and mountainside and all that. I'd be taking pictures on my road trip, and I would just be oh wow, this is so amazing. This is just a testament to how beautiful our planet is and how beautiful nature is and all that stuff. And of course, without fail, it was either my mom or my dad would say something oh yeah, it's alhamdulillah, it's so beautiful, it's a testament to God's work. And I'm just I just don't respond after that. But I've been slowly, so to answer that, I've been slowly but surely trying to show them that I care more about things that can be demonstrated to be true, science, nature, evolution, stuff like that. I know that I do. I've started to watch a lot of Forrest Falkai's channel in regards to evolution and science and all of that, and biology. So I do I've been slowly but surely showing them that side of myself. But of course, there are days when I just have to kind of shut up and just like take it and just put on my mask, as I was saying earlier. So
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't know. Every person's situation is different, but what I've noticed, what works with a lot more people, is not to get into arguments. Go with the love angle, right? The more you're hinting at them, you need to also replace it with something that they could be happy about. You can't just give them something to be worried about. The more you're hinting to them that you might not be as religious, the more you need to express love to them, the more you need to impress them with how much of a good boy you're being, how much of a good son you're being, how much you're expressing love and enjoyment of being around them. Your mother needs to feel like, oh, the more atheistic you're becoming, the more loving, like you need to kind of create this correlation in their mind that your atheism is somehow correlated to how much you're expressing love with them. Okay. So, but don't get it. I think it's a bad idea to get into arguments with them for why they're wrong or you're good. You just need to use I think the best idea is to just show them that you're still worthy of their love, even if you're wrong. Let's say they're right and you're wrong, but you're still worthy of their love.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with all that. It's just, I'm not trying to like, that's not my goal. I don't want to get into an argument unless I don't really have any other option. I'm like back into a corner. I think that, even though like I am more or less preparing for that in case that does happen, but
right.
I do agree with you in that, I should at least, like if I tell them something about nature, something about biology, something about science or anything like that, we always like end our calls with like, love you, love you, Assalamu alaikum, all that. So I try my best to do that. I agree with you on that.
If it's a habit to say I love you, I think you should do something, because if it's a habit, sometimes it becomes like it needs to be something extra. It needs to be something that shows that this is different from just the love you I say at the end of the call, right? Like maybe you call just to say how much you appreciate your mom. Like that needs to be something like your mom, like, oh, what, wow, like what was that? Something like that. Not like talking about other things and then just ending it with there's something to impress, something that is not normal, something that will just really impress, something that will make her cry. Right? Try to get a tear out of her. Like it's something very happy, make her happy. If you make her happy, if you keep making her happy, because a mother, most mothers really want their children's love, like they really want that. And if you could fill that void, if you are making them nervous about something, but you fill it with something else, the transition might be a lot easier. But anyways, I'm talking so much, Jim.
Yeah.
No, I think it's important because the two of you are closer in your experiences than Amin and I are, because Christian, Muslim, there's cultural differences here as well, not just religious differences, but cultural differences between me and Amin and Armin and Armin, you and Amin. So I think, but I just to be clear, I don't wear a mask around my parents at all. When they ask me if I go to church, I say no. If they ask me if I've been to confession lately, I say no. When they ask me these questions, I just say no. The arguments they've come to understand that I'm not going to go if I don't want to. By the same token, when my uncle died a couple of years ago, I went to mass and I went to the funeral and I did all the religious things with them. And I didn't do it because I believed in any of those things. I did it because it showed support for my cousins and what they were going through. I was there to support my family. And so there can be kind of some differences there, but you don't necessarily need to wear a mask to, at the same time, right? And still be truthful and still not have to tell them. You just take the mask off. And I think what Armin was suggesting was take the mask off gradually. Don't do it all at once, right? Play a little bit of peekaboo with them and get them used to the ideas. The idea of boiling a frog, right? Just slowly turn the heat up on the frog and the frog won't jump out. Now, it's not necessarily really true, but you get the idea of kind of what we're talking about, I think. Don't do it all at once. Don't make it a big scary thing, right? Because if you scare them, then they're going to react scared.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Definitely agree with that. I did want to mention or offer a addition to what you were saying, Armin, earlier about just say something nice and gradual. Just to go on a quick tangent here. I called my I called my mom on my birthday, or on her birthday, excuse me. And I said all the said happy birthday and all that. I did do what more or less what you were saying earlier. I told her, Mom, you are the reason like I am in the career that I am in. And I could tell just by listening to her, her response that she was, genuinely, grateful and thankful for that. So little things like that. I definitely agree that little things like that would definitely go a long way.
Yeah.
And do it immediately after, when your parents say, have you been praying every day like you're supposed to? And you say no, immediately bring it back to something like that, right? And redirect the conversation from whatever it's going to be. And that may help as well, at least distract them for a little bit. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, your parents better than we do. So.
I
Yeah. Well, good luck with that. And, as long as you're trying the best, as long as you're trying to, you sound like a good boy. You sound like you love your mother and you're being a good son to her and your parents. And, any parents should be proud to have you, because you want to be a good son to them, and you want to be true to yourself. So whatever the outcome, we could only just do the best, what we think. We evaluate everything, we try to do the best, and the results just whatever happens, we can't control what happens. We can only control what we can do. Right? And as long as you did that, you should be happy with yourself, whatever the results are.
Absolutely. And it's the main thing is that they always remind me that like they taught me to be honest. They want me to value honesty and truth and all that stuff. And if I ever do tell them, whenever I do tell them, excuse me, it's definitely want to make sure that I touch on those points. And I even started like writing a potential letter that I might send to them at some point, but that's going to be way down the road. I have things like going on in my life, in my family's life, that need to be addressed first, and then I'll have to consider that. So,
nice. Well, good luck with that. I hope it works out.
Good luck. Let us know how it goes.